Warner Brothers put out the Creed 3 trailer today, and I wanted to give my thoughts on it. First of all, this film is not only starring Michael B. Jordan, but Michael B. Jordan is the director. This is the first movie that Michael B. Jordan has ever directed. So the film, first of all, when I first heard about Creed 3, didn't think it was a good idea because I felt like Creed 2 was the perfect ending for the Adonis Creed character. You know, he loses, comes back to defeat Drago and symbolically avenge his father's defeat. Rocky reunites with his family. It's a perfect ending and bow tie, you know, in a nice little package for the Rocky franchise. But Creed 3 has another story to tell. Now, one of the things that I had continuously heard as a rumor is that the villain of this movie was going to be Clubber Lang's son. And that is a horrible, annoying idea. I find it too derivative that in one film we have the son of Apollo Creed fighting the son of Ivan Drago, and then we have the son of Apollo Creed fighting the son of Clubber Lang. Like, that's horrible. Like, I don't want to see that. It's just the same story over again, but that's not what we're getting here. Based on the trailer, it looks like the lead antagonist for the film. And keep in mind, I don't even know if Adonis is still the heavyweight champion or if he's even still like a full-time boxer based on the trailer. He obviously still boxes, but it feels more like maybe he's winding down his career. Either way, this movie is not only the first movie where Michael B. Jordan's directing, but also there's no Sylvester Stallone playing Rocky. It's a Rocky movie without Rocky, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I digress. The lead villain of this film is going to be played by Johnathan Majors, the same guy who plays Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. He's playing a character named Damian Anderson. And Damian Anderson is a longtime friend from Donnie's past who apparently returns after doing, I think they said 18 years in prison. I guess both of them committed a crime. He returns to regular society, and Michael B. Jordan, or that is to say Adonis Creed, is trying to help the kid out and help him rebuild his life. But what ends up happening is that ends up building to a fight where either Damien is unappreciative of what Donnie's doing for him, or somebody gets in his ear. To be honest with you, it really does kind of feel like Rocky 5. You know, if you go back to Rocky 5, Rocky, when he was already retired at the beginning of the film, chose to become a trainer and trained Tommy Gunn. And Tommy Gunn was this guy who had a ton of potential, great knockout power, and Rocky wanted to make him a better fighter. Well, lo and behold, he ends up getting brainwashed by George Washington Duke, who was basically the movie version of Don King, and ends up becoming greedy and ends up leading to a street fight between Rocky and Tommy Gunn. Now, that's not what happens here, but there are similarities in the fact that Donnie wants to be a good person to Damien, but is just not being appreciated for whatever reason that is. So Ryan Coogler, right? Because originally he was the director of the first two Creed films. He's still going to be a producer on this film, and he's still going to be one of the lead story writers. He doesn't write the screenplay. Keenan Coogler writes the screenplay, but he is still involved as far as the producer goes. He just won't be directing it. So lots of new ideas here, but I also feel like what's the point of this film? So I really hope that they have a good story here. And I am sensing it may end up being just a rehash of Rocky 5, which I don't want. I don't want that. I do not want that. Rocky 5 was a lot of people's least favorite Rocky film, and I can understand why, even though they try to tell an interesting story, because it is an interesting story. You know, he trains him and whatnot. Based on what happens here, Donnie and Damien end up face-to-face in a ring. So at some point, Damien works his way up to title contention or earns a fight with Adonis in the ring, not on the streets. So I'm curious to see where that goes. And I'm very excited because Johnathan Majors has been killing it lately. Yo, this guy is a tremendous, tremendous actor. You know, I remember he's been on a bunch of TV shows like Lovecraft Country. He was on, obviously, Low Key, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, which is a movie. You know, the guy's got a career, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Really as a villain in some cases. So we'll see where the story goes here. Also, Florian Munteanu returns to play Victor Drago. Victor Drago was Ivan Drago's son that feuded with Donnie in Creed 2. What could his role be in this film? Is he going to be the one that manipulates Damien to turn to the dark side, or is he going to actually be on Donnie's side? Because if you remember the way that Creed 2 ended, it was almost implied like he didn't want to fight anymore, and he thought he was just kind of reclaiming his birthright for his father, to the point where Ivan Drago is the one that threw the towel in. Which I always loved that ending of that film. So, what's his purpose of being here? I do genuinely wonder, because there's a lot of things they could have done with that character, and I don't know what his role would be here. Also, Tessa Thompson being Donnie's wife / girlfriend, baby mama, she returns, as well as Tony Bellew playing Pretty Ricky Conlon. So he's back as well. So we've got people from the first Creed film, or Rocky 7 or whatever, coming back here. So I am hoping that at some point that this is the end, because the one thing that you do not want to do is you don't want to spread out this franchise and squeeze it and milk it, because then the movies are going to get worse and worse. And I love Creed and I love Creed 2, but I have my reservations, because the more movies they make, the more likely it is they're going to screw it up. And so far, they've hit some home runs, but this could end up blowing up in their face if not treated right. So what did you think about the trailer for Rocky 9, which is basically Creed 3? And don't forget that there's a big rumor that they're working on a Drago film, probably about Victor Drago or a young Ivan Drago. So we're going to get a Drago film. So it's almost like Rocky is creating his own cinematic universe in a way. You've got the Rocky movies, the Creed movies, the Drago movies. Who knows what else they'll do? Maybe they'll have a young Apollo Creed at one point. Maybe they'll, maybe Spider from the first movie will get his own spinoff. I don't know, but like I said, the bigger these franchises get, the more heart they lose. And Creed and Rocky Balboa were two great films that brought the heart back to Rocky. And so, like I said, the more that they kind of screw around and add more sequels to get money, the more likely it is they're going to fail. But Michael B. Jordan is directing, and he does definitely care about this character, and he cares about this franchise. So I think he will give it care, but he has no track record of being a filmmaker. He's been an actor for years and years and years, and a very good one, but he has no history of being a filmmaker. So is he going to be able to create those dynamic shots and great musical moments that Ryan Coogler did for Creed 1 and 2? It's going to be tough, man, because those movies moved me. They made me emotional. They made me feel things. Is Creed 3 going to do that? Is Donnie still the champion? There's a lot of questions I have. The film comes out March 3rd, 2023, so we've got a few more months left before it comes out. I will be there to watch it and hopefully enjoy it. What do you think about this trailer? Let me know. Take care, and we'll talk soon.